Hello, you are watching the Garden Corner Show, and as you know, this is a show. This is the show where we are crazy passionate about everything gardening. I am J-Dog John Clark, and I'm out here with Mr. Dave, and Mr. Dave is holding a new camera. He's worried because he's wondering, where's T-Bird at the moment? Anyway, hey, let's do some shout-outs because I want to get right into it. We've got a lot to do about some Supertunias. We want to get the truth, get down to it, finding out what the heck a Supertunia is and what's the difference between a regular Petunia and a Supertunia. Let's do some shout-outs, shall we? Let's say hello to Judy Levine Chamberlain. Hi, Judy. To Cindy Dencore. There he is. Comes out from nowhere. He's a scene stealer. Kanan Hoare. Kanan, I am very curious about all that gear you are wearing. And I know it's not gardening gear. It must be some climbing gear. Tell me about that. How did you overcome a natural fear of heights? Or is it just me? I've got this great fear of heights. Kimberly Abrahamson. And Josie Edwards. And Josie, who is that cutie pie in your pic? By the way, so let me know. I want to know. And welcome. I hope this show brings something good to you. So let's talk about some Supertunias and some regular Petunias. I want to get down to the heart of it because we want to do some containers, but there's a lot of different varieties on there, and I want to make sure you get the right variety for the job that you want to do and not be disappointed. I'm all about performance now. So now you'll find petunias out there. One key way to find out whether this is a Supertunia or a regular old-fashioned petunias, if you find them in tray packs, meaning that if you find them in this type of pack, a 6-pack, generally those are old-fashioned petunias. You can buy 48 plants for, I want to say, $14.99, a pretty inexpensive buy. That's the good thing on these guys. They don't cost a lot, and you can plant them 6-8 inches apart, a hand distance apart. You get wonderful tall petunias. That's maybe sometimes the bad thing about them is that these get, I'm going to say, knee-high size. Another downside on these guys is that these are the type of petunias that need to be deadheaded, so they need to have the old blooms plucked off. If you don't, they tend not to rebloom, so pluck these old blooms off, and that can be kind of, I want to say, for some folks it is a chore. For some other folks, this is their time in the garden. So half a dozen one, dozen six of another. Okay. Sorry. So that is an old-fashioned petunia. You'll find those in Dream series or Madness series oftentimes. So the grandifloras. Yeah. Now, on the other side of things, there's the Supertunia. And Supertunias are the types that you think of as wave petunias. And wave, by the way, is not the only type of Supertunias. That's just one variety of Supertunias. These are the guys that really hang down. No deadheading is necessary. As a matter of fact, if you're deadheading a Supertunia, that is obsessive compulsive right there. That's a sign. So Supertunias, you let them go. What they do is they hide their dead. So they'll pull back the old ones and new ones come right over the top of them. Here now, I want to go over a couple of varieties to look out for as far as Supertunias. Because there's some standouts this year, really above and beyond. Now this guy right here, this is called Improved Charlie. What's neat about this guy is that it's not a great big bloom. It's a smallish type bloom. I want to say almost the size of a million bells, a smaller type of calibrachoa. I don't want to confuse things, but let's get, just stays as a smaller petunia. But it is a heavy bloomer. You'll get a big wall of this type of bloom. So keep that one in mind. It's called Improved Charlie. Another one that I think is a standout is this one right here. This one is called Surfinia Sky Blue. What is amazing about this guy is that it's a striking color. Right now it comes out kind of a lighter blue, but really turns truly sky blue as the season goes on. So think of that sky blue, that's the color you get. So those two particularly. Now, another standout Supertunia that I want to make sure you get is this guy right over here. And what this one is called is Giant Pink. What makes this one really famous is that big palm-sized bloom on it. Now, it's a petunia. What also comes with is these giant leaves that make it kind of a standout too. These guys, no kidding, I want to say 6 feet, 6 feet in length on them. These guys really go to town. So at least 6 feet. So there's Giant Pink and also Giant Blue. And blue, by the way, is the that deep dark purple. So, we're just worried about T-Bird.
Wait, he was parked right behind you.
He's going to be somewhere. He's going to be popping up somewhere. But anyway, let's run with what we got, shall we? So Giant Pink and Giant Blue, 2 things to watch out for. Let's go over some of the reds. They're right back over here. The red. Shall we do it here, Miss Dave? Now the reds are a Supertunia that's really being developed now. And they have come out, they've bred a very good red, and this one's called Supertunia Red. Deep dark red, a true red. It's not an orangey red, it's not a pinky red. Comes out very deep dark red, which is with a nice, refreshing, unusual look. What happens with this guy, just to keep an eye out, is that it does, as the season goes on, tends to fade a bit to, I want to say, a light red, almost a pink. So keep that one in mind, the Supertunia Red. Along the lines there, too, is the lime petunia. I had a gentleman come in today looking for the yellow petunias. He really wanted to know the yellow petunias. And I didn't quite, I guess I considered this one as a yellow petunia, but as soon as I showed it to him, he said, yep, that's the one. He really had good success from it last year. It has that kind of a yellowish throat to it, but not quite a white and not quite a, it's more of a cream color, but that might be a nice one to do instead. Of course, there is pure white as well, and pure white, let's take a look over here. Mr. Dave is guiding it along. So now white, what we use is called it's called white. It's called choice. Yes, of course. I just did a mental breakdown, mental lapse there. Not a breakdown. It's a lapse. Choice.
Breakdowns come later.
Breakdowns come later. Okay. It's choice, and there's also a Supertunia White too that has a deep dark purple throat to it. So use choice if you want that pure white. Also, I wanted to point out to you another Supertunia. This one's called Bardo. A nice deep dark veining on this. Now, when these first came out, they had a little bit of a virus running through them, but they fixed that since. So there's a Bordeaux, and there's also one called Rose Vein, which is a really dark one. Let me see if I can find that one.
Probably had it over in the corner over there.
Yeah, let's take a. Oh, another one I want. Let me show you this guy too while we're here. A neat one too. This one's called Raspberry Parfait. See how that one's it has those little striking deep dark lines through them that really make it a standout too. This one's called Raspberry Parfait. And then let me show you the Rose Vein, which is this guy right here. See how that is? It's deep dark and has that veining in there. Turns into a lighter. It turns into a lighter pink, but also always keeps that deep dark veining. So anyway, that's the show for the day. I hope it helps explain some old-fashioned Dream Series petunias and some really cool Supertunias if that's your thrill. Anyway, that's the show. Hope that brings something to you. If it doesn't, here is the quote for the day. Once you choose hope, anything's possible. Thank you very much, Christopher Reed. That's the show. Always live your passion.
You see me right out of the sunset on the color TV screen.